Hello, everyone, and welcome to Galaxy Radio Namibia on my show, A Moment with Dr. Ayesha Mughees. And today we have the topic how to stay safe online. And for that, we have Eliezer all the way from Nigeria to give us some tips on how to stay safe online. Eliezer, first of all, a very warm welcome to you. So, Eliezer, to begin with, you talk a lot about using a password manager for one's social media account or otherwise. So, would you like to tell the audience if it's really safe to use a password manager?
Okay, the issue of passwords and password managers, I can say that it's actually very safe to have a password manager. Look at it this way: with a password manager, you just need one password, which is your master password, and you can put as many long and complicated passwords as you like in that password manager. Usually, password managers are a repository that saves our passwords and help enable us to log in easily in any platform. And the way password managers work is that you have a repository where you store your passwords, and then you have a master password that protects that. So you only have to remember your master password. That means you can make your passwords very, very long and very complicated, and it does not matter. And as regards to security, password managers like LastPass use the zero knowledge security protocol, which means that even though your password manager knows your password, LastPass, which is in this case the company that makes the manager, does not know your passwords. This means that if a hacker, for instance, wants to, hack the company LastPass manager, it still will not get access to your passwords. As we say in security, that something cannot be truly safe provided it's linked to the internet. So be that as it may, your safest bet to have safe and secure password is actually a password manager.
Alright, so there's a formula or say a mnemonic that you usually talk about when it comes to creating a strong password. So, would you like to share that with us?
Yeah, so as to the question of a strong password, there has to be a very fine balance between having a strong password and having a password you will forget. Obviously, as I said earlier, if you're having a strong password and it's complicated, you can always make use of password managers, and these things are safe, to the best of my knowledge. To create a password that is strong, you need to use the principle of ALSUN 8, ALSUN 8. The A stands for alphabet. Your passwords have to have alphabets. L stands for lowercase. You should have some small letters in your password. S stands for special characters, all the pound and dollar sign and whatnot. You have to have these things in your password. U stands for uppercase. It's also very important to have like a mix of all these things. N stands for numbers. You simply have to have numbers in your passwords. And 8 stands for the length. Your password should be at least 8 characters. Now you find out that when you do all of these things together, you can have a strong password. A very easy way to check how strong your password is by using the website howsecureismypassword.net. The website is howsecureismypassword.net. So if you use howsecureismypassword.net, you can actually gauge how long it will take a hypothetical hacker or a computer trying to hack your password, how long it will take that computer to break it. So the key to creating a strong password is ALSUN 8 alphabets, lowercase, special characters, uppercase, numbers, and at least 8 characters.
So, what are some of the ways through which hackers hack accounts on social media or otherwise, like websites?
Now understand that hacking is when a hacker obviously looks for vulnerabilities in a system and exploits it. So they want to see different vulnerabilities the system has so they can exploit it. Obviously, we have black hat hackers and we have white hat hackers. Now, how do they gain access? When you connect to unsecure Wi-Fi networks and these same hackers connect to it, you can always remotely access your computer from that. If you remember, I've always said this: download your applications and your software from trusted websites. When you download not unknown programs, they most likely have a hidden malware that hackers now use to exploit any vulnerability the system has. It's always very, very important to update. We've said this that as your viruses have antiviruses that remove them, new viruses come. So you have to update your operating system constantly. Update all the antiviruses you have constantly. Now, when you get phishing emails or click phishing links, but these hackers can also gain access to your computer, hack your account, and do all of these things. And then finally, when you synchronize data, they can use distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. This is also a man-in-the-middle attack to access data or passwords that is synchronized to websites. So these are all different ways the hackers can hack account.
Alright, Eliezer, why not tell our audience some of the ways to identify if your account has been hacked?
I'm going to try as much as possible to answer this question as broadly as possible. How do you find out your account has been hacked? How do you find out your computer has been hacked? The major precursor to this hacking is abnormal behavior. You have a Facebook ad account, for instance, and you have your card there, which we definitely advise you to not do. Anytime you use your card, your credit card, or debit card for any online purchase, do not save it on that website. And you find out that you've lost money from your account, you're picking out ads that you do not understand. It's most likely that you're being hacked. So the key thing with being hacked is noticing abnormal messages. So people are texting you and telling you why you're asking them for money. Your money is missing. Someone tells you that I hacked your account and I need you to pay so and so to get this. So it's ransomware. You type something, you want to search for something and it's directed to different sites. Your confidential data is leaked. All these things are signs that you've been hacked. So a lot of these things, when they happen, you need to notice here is that abnormal behavior occurs when you are hacked. You lose money, you redirect your links that you clicked are redirected, you get ransomware text, people call you and tell you that you've stolen your money, your friends are asking you what's going on with your life, why you posting random things and all of that stuff. All of these things are key signs that you have been hacked.
Also, how do we identify a phishing link?
So the concept of phishing, PHI, is quite similar, to the normal traditional concept of phishing, this time around the FI. So a fisherman takes his fishing rod, his hook, line, sinker, and bait, goes to a pool, and any gullible enough fish that nibbles on the bait gets caught. The same thing happens in fishing. You have a scammer that wants your details, that wants your money, and any of these things, and dangles a proverbial mythical goal at the end of the tunnel for you, and you just have to do so and so thing to get it. And the next question is, how do we understand? How do we identify phishing links? It's quite simple. Usually, phishing links are not secure. So instead of HTTPS, where HTTPS stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, these websites do not have S, it's just HTTP. You can know a secure website by the little part that you see at the top of the URL. The other way to notice this is to know that most websites are legitimate, not start with numbers. Phishing sites most likely would have numbers attached to the sites. Also, anytime you click a link and it redirects you to a very different page, different from what is there, it's most likely a phishing link. And then it's also important to look at the formatting of that website. Most of these websites are shoddily done because they've been done hastily. These are certain ways you can identify phishing links. And when you see or suspect that a link is a phishing link, simply do not engage. Do not click on that link. Delete the email you got and stay safe and stay very safe online.
So, Eliezer, what are some of the ways through which public figures who have public accounts like you and I can stay safe online?
Now, the question about public figures staying safe online is quite important because these people are public figures. They are the measure of the public, and they are most likely more vulnerable to attack than the rest of us. So it's still the thing I tell everybody. It's not, the fact that you're a public figure means that you have to take these things we're saying personally. You have to do these things and follow them by the book. All your personal information, professional and otherwise, you have to keep them safe. Keep them locked up, keep them safe, so nobody can hack into your account and access this thing. Do not ever disable your firewall or your Windows or Mac security settings. So you always have to keep your privacy on. So there are certain apps that you get, and you might want to install them, and your computer is depending on them. And you just decide, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn off my Windows Defender for me to access this. Advice I did not do this. Always, the same way you would not walk through a dangerous neighborhood, do not visit dangerous websites online when your public account is signed on when your public account is signed on a platform. So do not go to practice safe browsing. Ensure that internet connection is very, very secure. Only download applications from trusted websites. As much as this might be costly, might be expensive, it's actually very, very necessary. I've spoken about strong passwords. Always use strong passwords. Do not purchase things from unsecure websites. Be very careful about what you post, and ensure that your antivirus and all your softwares are up to date, because as antiviruses come out, new viruses come out, like if you don't update your antiviruses or have antiviruses with heuristics, you're always going to stand the risk of attack.
Alright, that was the last question of our show, and thank you so much, Eliezer, for being on my show, for being a part of it, and guiding all the audience on how to stay safe online. I hope all of you found this a fruitful discussion and will benefit from it. As for all of those who hack accounts or fish accounts or bully on social media, I think it's always better to focus on yourself rather than going about and discovering people's social circle and then destroying it and their life in general as well. So we should all refrain from that and focus on ourselves only. This is all for today. Until next week, this is Dr. Ayesha Mughees signing off.